What are a few things somebody can do to be able to read somebody that they're maybe out with or they're becoming friends with to know that they're actually true to who they say they are?
Now, everything depends on the circumstance, the individual you're dealing with. So it's a little bit false to generalize too much here. But the basic thing is in the laws of human nature, I have a chapter on nonverbal communication. And it's really in essence the subject of The Art of Seduction, my second book. When that book came out, I told people, I said that seduction is a language, but it's not really a language of words. It's a language of gesture. It's a language of the senses, of smells, of the sound of a person's voice, of things about them physically that get under your skin. It's a language of gestures and behavior. And your behavior, what you do, how you carry yourself, your level of confidence, it's nothing you say, but people read it, right? Because we don't realize it, but 95% of human communication, I'm just throwing a number out there, but it's somewhere in that vicinity, is nonverbal, but we don't realize it, right? You're actually, every day of your life, when you're interacting with people at the office or in your home, unconsciously or subconsciously, you're paying attention to their tone of voice, the look in their eyes, their posture, and the simple gestures that they're doing, like whether they're late, how messy their room is, etc. These details, you're reading them, okay? The main problem that you have in life is you have this antenna built into your head, like an insect's antenna, that detect what people are really thinking, whether they really like you, whether they really think that your ideas are great. You don't know how to use that antenna, right? Because you're not able to get outside of yourself. You're so damn self absorbed. You're always thinking about yourself. So you're on a date. I'm a man, so I'm going to put myself naturally in the position of a man meeting a woman or something. It's the first time, and you're thinking, does she like me? Am I saying the right things? How's she responding to me? She should really like me, blah, 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 blah. You're thinking about yourself. You're so inside of yourself that you're actually not seeing the fact that she's not responding to you at all, that her body language shows that she's disconnecting from you. Whereas you have the power if you get out, if you cut off, there's a little knob there and you turn off the interior monologue. Click, it's off. You're inside of her. You're thinking inside of her world, her mind. You're paying her attention. She's going to connect to you, and the body language will shift. They've noticed things like mirroring, so that when people are connecting and clicking, if you cross your legs, the other person will cross their legs. If you touch your hair, the other person will touch. That's a sign that they're unconsciously connecting to you in some way, right? So, you have to be attuned to that. You have to click off that interior monologue, that me that's constantly playing throughout your brain. Get inside them, the other world, and then realize that your attention to them, your focus on them, your ability to think what they're thinking is the most seductive power in the world. No man or woman on the planet can resist it because we're all starving for attention and recognition. And when someone has the antenna and it's doing the little things that an antenna do, and you're focused on them and you're looking at them and you're in their world, I never get that from anybody else. I never get that from my family, it's like a drug, it's addictive, right? You have the power to do that. Cut off the self-absorption, get inside their world and focus on them, and they're gonna fall under your spell. So to me, and it's hard in this world today because people have lost that skill. It's your damn dating apps that have destroyed socializing, right? Instead of having to actually go out in the world and actually put your reputation on the line in a bar or a cafe and literally seduce your way and interest the other person, you just go flipping through a screen, accept, reject, accept, reject. What crap? You're not building any social skills. I'm sorry. And you're going to pay for it later in life when you don't know how to pay attention to people and through your own words and your own body language connect to them. You're depending on technology for everything. Get rid of that nasty habit and learn how to actually develop social skills in a seduction in any kind of situation. So that's enough of my rant on that.
You're right. It's hard these days, right? Because people are so used to using technology to meet people and to connect with people, and there's no app to teach you how to build social skills in a real life setting. Like, I mean, obviously there's tips, there's tricks, but the only way to do it is to actually get into the arena and actually meet people and start talking to people. And along those lines, like once you meet somebody and you're out with them and paying attention to them, obviously you said is super important, and getting into their mind, what are some ways, you guys using this same guy as an example, like how can this guy begin to understand if this person that he's out with is actually somebody that could be a potential match or connection for him?
I didn't quite answer your question before because you were saying, how can you tell whether someone is actually being who they are, whether they're
Yeah,
lying
yeah,
to you, whether they're deceiving? And that's kind of backing up to what we were just talking about, where on a screen on your phone with your dating app, whatever it is, you can't really tell, even though there might be a recording of them. People are master actors. They're good at deceiving, right? And when they're on that app or they're recording themselves, they're putting their best foot forward. They're looking their best, they're controlling what they say. You have no idea who they are. And the ability to judge people who are lying, who are deceiving, it can only be developed in person. You're never going to get it through Tinder or whatever app you're using, right? Because there's no filter on that for it. You have to use your eyes, you have to use your own physical intelligence. And in the laws of human nature, I talk about there are people who've written brilliant books about decoding body language, and they go into more detail than I do. So you should definitely read their books. But you look at their eyes, and when people are genuinely happy or excited or interested in you, there's a difference in the way the eyes focus, in the way the whole face is. So you'll notice that somebody's looking at you, right? And it's deceptive. Do you think they're interested? But the rest of their face doesn't seem very excited or very interested. These kind of discrepancies are very revealing, and they show that they're trying to actually pretend that they're interested in you through a fake smile or through eyes that kind of look like they're attending. But when somebody's really interested or really excited or really likes you, they don't control those things. The whole face lights up. The mouth, when you're really interested in somebody, this is a fake smile. There's a tenseness to it, right? But when you're really laughing or smiling, the whole face is animated and you know it. You can feel it. You're just not paying attention. You're being stupid. You're not looking. You're not seeing that they're actually not that interested in you, that their eyes are showing one thing, but the mouth is showing something else. Or they actually are responding to you because their whole face is responding to you, but you're not paying attention. Their posture towards you, right? Are they, if you're standing, in a party, are they square on you? Are they looking at you straight? Or are they looking at you while their body is kind of positioned to a side? And then they're kind of looking over at other people. They're a bit distracted. They're not into you at all. The tone of voice is a total language that you have to learn to pay attention to. Actors whose whole life is acting learn how to control the facial muscles to kind of give the a certain impression. Training the voice to give impressions is really hard. So when people are trying to fake it, their voice they can't fake their voice, right? An excited person, a person who's interested in you, it has a certain lilt to it. It has a certain rhythm, a cadence that reveals itself. And when they're not interested in you, the senses are short or whatever. There's a certain otherness to it that you're not detecting. So pay attention to all these things and then pay attention to the gestures and the behavior. Okay. People who are chronically late, it's your third date and the third time they're late, don't excuse that and go, well, they're a busy person, blah, blah, blah. Your antenna should be going, this person has a flaw. I'm not interested in them. They're late now. They're going to always be late. They're not considerate. They're not polite. They're only thinking about themselves. Read their behavior. When it comes time for giving gifts, a common mistake that people will make is to give the gift that's most expensive, some generic thing that they think is going to impress you. But if somebody gives you a gift in which it's clear that they've been thinking about you, They're thinking about something you said, about who you are as an individual, about something about your own personality. A thoughtful gift. That is a thoughtful person. That's a gold. That's like gold. They're going to be thoughtful for 10 years down the line. That's somebody you can marry, you can live with, right? Pay attention to the little things, the gestures, the gifts, whether they're late, whether they're thoughtful, whether they're considerate, whether they're paying attention to you, the tone of voice. It's a language. Learn the language, or no app in the world will ever help you.